It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling bringing you here. It's wrestling time, AEW Rampage and Friday Night Smackdown review. Alright, so let's get started with AEW Rampage. So Rampage kicked off with the TNT Championship match. It was Toni Nese versus Sammy Guevara. Wow, this match was a great match. Toni Nese was dominating Sammy the whole entire match, pretty much. Although Sammy did get some offense, and my favorite spot in this match has to be when Sammy did that springboard from the top rope to Nese. I thought that was a good spot. I don't know about you guys, but that was it in the match, if you ask me. Of course, Sammy Guevara was victorious. I honestly would not have minded it if this match had a dirty finish or like a DQ finish, just because I would have liked to see this match again. But I'm glad it ended the way it did. Sammy Guevara defeated Toni Nese, and it was a great match. Great way to kick off Rampage, that's for sure. Then we got a Christian Cage segment. He's saying that they beat the Elite themselves, and they're gonna scout the Lucha, technically would be the Penta and Pac match against FTR, and he's confident in his guys because they're the number one contenders. Now, what happened to Marco Stunt? I mean, Christian Cage joined Jurassic Express, and now where's Marco Stunt? Anybody know where Marco Stunt is? You know, poor Marco Stunt. Whatever happened to him? Alrighty. And so then afterwards, we had Jade Cargill versus Janai Kai. I believe she's a student of Thunder Rosa, and Thunder Rosa was on commentary for this match. This was a quick squash match. It really was. It was just for Jade Cargill to send a message to Thunder Rosa. There was a post-match assault as Jade Cargill attacked Janai Kai. Of course, Thunder Rosa came down to save her student. And, the Rouse had to break them up. I'm actually pretty excited for Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill. That match can go either way. Either Thunder Rosa is going to hand Jade Cargill her first loss, or Jade Cargill is going to defeat Thunder Rosa. Either way, it's going to be a fantastic match. I cannot wait for it. Then we get a quick backstage segment with the Super Click. Basically, them saying that the Bucks are returning to action against Best Friends. And as we found out, it's going to be Rocky Romero and Chuck Taylor versus the Bucks. So in the main event, we got a tag team match. It was FTR versus Penta, Cero Miedo, and Pac. This was a great match. Pac and Penta working together nicely. I liked how Cash mocked Penta, but he went like this, but he didn't finish the gesture. Ooh, poor Cash crashed into the barricade. Ow. I really like the drop kick from the top rope to Dax. FTR came close to beating Penta and Pac so many times, but they couldn't. Pac ended up taking out Tully. But how did they end up winning? Malachi Black came down and spat that thing in Pac's eyes, allowing FTR to be victorious. And then FTR took off Penta's mask and black gouged Pac's eye to end Rampage. Tonight's Rampage was a really good show. Honestly, I would have to give it a 4 out of 5. I was going to give it a 5, but what stopped me from giving it a 5 was the Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa match. It was they could have done it in a different way. It was literally no time given to it. It was a squash match. I get that. But they could have just done the usual Jade thing and have it maybe at least a 10-minute match of just Jade dominating Janai Kai. Honestly. So out of 10, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 just for those reasons. But nevertheless, it was a good show. I liked Rampage, but more on what I thought the show was better at the end. So next, we're going to move on to Friday Night Smackdown. Smackdown kicked off with a returning Brock Lesnar. But before he could say anything, Sami Zayn interrupted him and said that he's a fan. Brock Lesnar said that he doesn't know who Sami Zayn is. and says that Zayn has a lot of balls interrupting him. And then Lesnar said that he's from Saskatchewan and that he eats, hunts, and kills in Saskatchewan. And that Sami Zayn is the number one contender, and it's going to be Zayn and Roman Reigns at day one. But then Lesnar starts to encourage Zayn to challenge Roman tonight. And he says that he's a fan and he's going to have Sami's back and he's going to be at ringside. And then the winner will fade. And then after this, we get a backstage segment with Sonya Deville and Sami Zayn. Basically, Sami's saying that he bit off more than he could chew. And that Sonya makes it official. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn tonight for the Universal title. And whoever wins will face Brock Lesnar at day one. So, no offense to Sami Zayn, but we knew since this match was announced last week what the outcome of the match would be. But before we get to that, let's go on to the next thing. Then we had Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler. This match, it's not that it was a terrible match. It was an okay match, but it's just that I didn't care for it. It's nothing against Shayna or Sasha. It's just WWE didn't make me care for this women's match, unfortunately. So Sasha Banks was victorious, but what was there to it? Not much. Then we get a happy talk segment. It was with Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. Oh my god, Madcap Moss makes a cringe Jeff Hardy joke, calls him a swanton mom. Then he said that McIntyre is a big crybaby and a Scottish ward warrior. I believe that's what he called him. Then McIntyre comes out with his sword. And then Hardy also came out with the twist of fate to Happy Corbin. And it ends with McIntyre and Jeff Hardy wearing hats and being shirtless. So I have to say, I thought we were going to get serious a tag team match now, playa. Holla. But we didn't. And we're not getting one next week. So I don't know what the whole point of this segment was. And then we got the Viking Raiders versus the Lotharios. This was an okay match. Wasn't a great match. But I'm happy Los Lotharios won despite Nakamura and Rick Boogs attempting to cause a distraction that actually helped them. Then after this, we get a Toni Storm segment, basically saying Charlotte could embarrass herself. She isn't afraid of Charlotte or intimidated by her, and you can call her Two-Pie Toni. This segment really didn't do much for me, unfortunately. And then we got Jey Uso versus King Woods, but before the match even started, we got the big promo with the Usos asking what is wrong with Zayn. I can't believe Zayn let Lesnar intimidate him. That's true. And the only man to fear is Roman Reigns. And that he's already smashed Woods and will smash... Oh, that they already smashed Wish's crown and will smash his spirit next. And then Woods says that the Usos don't like surprises. And calls Zayn Samuel Zayn. I thought that was funny. And he has a surprise for the Usos, which ended up being a returning Kofi Kingston. So Kofi Kingston is officially back. And then this leads into the match. It was a good match. I like the boot to the face to Jey Uso. Of course, it ended in a DQ because of Jimmy Uso. Then there was a beatdown on Jimmy Uso, and it said the New Day is going to destroy Usos by taking out their tag team title reigns at day one. Okay, so it's official. You're gonna get the Usos versus the New Day on day one for the tag team titles, and it's like, when are we gonna move on from the Usos versus the New Day? It seems like they've been feuding forever. Like, seriously, it seems that way. We've seen this match before. So, what's gonna happen? I'm just... I guess, I gotta give them some type of props. They're building up the Lotharios. They're on a roll right now, but if you don't get those titles off the Usos, and even with the New Day winning them, it's like the next team that they face are probably not going to win. Although I'd be shocked if when the Usos take the titles off when the New Days take the titles off the Usos, if the team they face take the titles off of them. So then after this, we get a Charlotte segment and saying that everybody can agree that the only way to get noticed is by challenging her. And she knows exactly what Toni Storm is doing. Says that Toni should thank her because she was the talk of the town. Says now that if she embarrassed Toni with the pie, imagine how much Charlotte can embarrass Toni in the ring. And does she consider Toni's challenge? And the answer is no. Then as Charlotte's walking away up the ramp, Toni pies Charlotte in the middle of the ramp. Then we got Cesaro versus Sheamus, which I actually thought was a good match. They make reference to their Best of 7 series and to when they were the Bar. I actually liked them as the Bar. And one of my first spots in this match was Cesaro with that uppercut to Sheamus, and he went over the barricade. And Rich Harlan was shown to be watching in the back, and Sheamus ended up victorious. But yeah, I like this match. This was probably, if it wasn't for the way the King Woods versus Jey Uso ended, I probably would have said that this match, along with that match, would have been my favorite matches of the night. But and then we got a Naomi segment. So she couldn't enjoy her victory because she kept thinking of all the things that Sonya put her through. And Sonya basically says that when she has the suit on, she's Naomi's boss. But she finally accepted Naomi's challenge next week. So it's going to be Naomi versus Sonya. And I hope that is the end of that. I seriously hope. Because if that match doesn't end this atrocity of a feud, the only thing that's left to do is for Naomi to join the bloodline. So. Then in the main event, we get the Universal title match. It's Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. But before the start of the match, Zayn says this is the biggest match of his career. Says that he's going to shock the world and will thank Lesnar. Says understand that Lesnar isn't there to help Zayn. Tries to untie Brock Lesnar to help him. And Lesnar gives Sami Zayn, I think, 4 F5s. And then the match still takes place. Roman spears Zayn, and that's how Smackdown ends. Aside from Cesaro versus Sheamus and King Woods versus Jey Uso, there was really nothing much on SmackDown. I mean, we knew how the main event was going to go. That was a waste of time. I don't know why that was possible. I honestly think Rampage was better than SmackDown today. I'd give SmackDown... It was an okay show, I guess. Wasn't too bad. I'll just give it a 2.5 out of 5 and a 6 out of 10. Just because it has some things that I liked, but I picked Rampage as a better show. Last week I picked SmackDown because last week's Rampage was nothing special. It was just basic show. This week I think Rampage was a little stronger than SmackDown. But and I honestly think Rampage was a little bit better than Dynamite. Dynamite I felt was just off. But it was still a decent show. But that being said, I just want to thank everybody so much for watching. I might have an announcement next week, so keep an eye out for that. Legacy of Power and Morphin Mondays will probably debut the last 2 weeks of this month, and I might have some stuff going on this weekend and next weekend, so just keep an eye out for some stuff. It may not happen, so if it does happen, great. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry, but I definitely will have something next week going on. Do have an announcement, so make sure you tune in for that. I'm on the road to 300 subscribers. Please help me get to 300. I apologize for that. Like I was saying, I am on the road to 300 subscribers, and so please help me get to 300. And so thank you guys all so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all next week. Bye.